back it up.
Guys, it's Opusema here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today guys, I am back with episode 11 of Sims 3 Tips, where I show you everything you need to know about The Sims 3. And today guys, I am going to be showing you how to back up your current household to the family bin, or a household pretty much to the bin. This is really useful, as if you may know, let's say if your save gets corrupted, and just beforehand you decide to back up your family, or you want to move them to a new world and you don't want to get your saves corrupted you have currently running. Well, this is the perfect step for you guys. Now, I have used this personally and it works really well, especially with this household, the Diaz. If you didn't know what was going on, I can explain to you really quickly. I did a current household, by the way, a couple of days ago, so you want to go check it out, the big card up there. But what went wrong is I went back to 1.67.2 because I was missing pets and all that, thanks to the thing Origin decided to do, take away my games, being Origin. But yeah, what I did is went back to 1.67.2 thanks to Games for the World. And they have an addition out of the game. Pretty much it's free. And I recommend it to get it if you have a legit copy and then only install the packs you legitimately own, which I pretty much did. I have one or two packs that I don't really own, but I love them. So, and they are pretty much stuff packs because I own all the expansions. So, yeah. And the save worked okay for first, but the very first problem I had was I think it was some resetting issues. Well, some routing issues I had, and it wasn't really working well. So what I actually had to do is reset the Sims and then use the Master Controller mod and whatnot, and then I loaded it up the next day. It was working okay. Then I wanted to go ahead and minimize the game, tweet about something, came back. When I came back, the screen was always showing up a cursor. This happened to me about 4 or 5 times, so what I decided to do is I looked at the crash screen analyzer, because there was 1 or 2 times it showed up a crash error. Now, it said CC, however I wasn't sure it was a CC issue. The first thing I did is try DP, because sometimes that can be causing the crash. That didn't work, so I was thinking it could be a corrupt save or it could just be some CC. But I do remember I changed out my mod, the Master Controller, well, not Master Controller, just Error Trap, because it wasn't not compatible for 1.67.2. The version I had installed was for 1.69, so what I did is install the right version for that before I even started up the game. So I really don't know. More likely in the end it was corrupted, because I didn't really install any new CC or anything in the last couple of days before I did this. So that's why I concluded it was a corrupted save. Very long story, but hey, I just kind of explained it there in 2 minutes. So I had to move them into Cetra, into a brand new save, and it was really useful. It's working fine, the save. It isn't doing that on me anymore. And it's been running much smoother as well. I've upgraded my driver and all that sort of stuff, so it's working much better now. So yeah, I know it takes a little bit to load, but you know, otherwise it works. So yeah, so today guys, I am going to show you how to do this. It's really simple to do. What you want to go ahead and do is press F5 on your keyboard. So make sure you're in your save, by the way. Make sure you are. So for example, I'm with the DS current household. And by the way, they just had a baby called Maximilian. You may have seen him over on Twitter, guys. And they're going to be adopting a pet soon. I did a poll on Twitter and they said, you should adopt a pet. So that's what I'm going to be doing really soon. I'm just waiting for the verdict, what type, dog or cat. So yeah, but what you want to go ahead and do is to start off this tutorial, make sure you're in your save in the current household. And you are going to be backing up. And what you want to go ahead and do is click here, F5, or click on this little dot thing, and go ahead and click Edit Tab. Now, it will ask you to save here. I am just going to go ahead and say, just continue. Okay, so, once you're here, I already had that copy, so I'm going to delete this copy of the DS, but just for today's tutorial, for the sake of this tutorial, what you want to go ahead and do is click on the household you are playing, or the household you want to back up. For example, it's DS in my case. And you can see there's 6 buttons here. Now, we're not going to be worrying about most of them. The one we're going to be using for today is this button here. Save copy to library. We're not going to be worrying about these ones or this one. But I think you can, no, you can't do it for that one. But yeah, you're going to go ahead and say save copy to library. So you want to press that button. and you want to go said yes, it will cancel the interactions. It just says here, don't worry guys, it will just cancel them temporarily while it does this. So say yes. Now there's three options here. Cancel, we're not going to deal with this one or this one here, household with house. It will say a copy of the house. I haven't read it personally, but it does, I think it does back up the house. I'm not 100% sure, but the one we're going to worry about is household only. We're only going to back up the household, so just say yes there, and this will process it. This will take maybe a minute at most if you have a really slow computer, but it'll be really quick depending also on the size of the current, like the household. So for me, there's about 4 sims in here. There's 4 sims in this one, so it'll just take a second here. It may even take longer because I'm recording. By the way, I don't know why, but whenever I record, it seems to be slower. But there we go. There is a copy to the household, and then you can go ahead and start a new save. Go out game, start a new save, and place them down. So for example, if I place them down here, I can. So yeah, that's all to it pretty much. They will keep their job, but however they'll start back at 0. As well as same for grades. They'll keep their skills. You can see he didn't have these skills. He did have these skills in the other save, though it has changed. Like for example, she was level 10 in the last video. She's still level 10. So from my current household, so they pretty much keep the same skills. I haven't cheated anything. Actually, I think she may have gained the handiness skill or one of these skills. I know she's gained recently, but they keep the same skills. They won't keep the same relationships with the townies. However, they'll keep the same relationships with the family. So just note that, because you can see here we just lost a match, and that was because of our co-workers. I'm gonna have to work on that. I could cheat because pretty much he was pretty much friends with all his co-workers back in Starlight Shores, but I will sort that out later. But anyway, guys, that is all to that tutorial. Really simple to do, and you know they'll keep pretty much everything. So yeah, I hope this tutorial was really useful, guys. You know, please do like if you thought this was really helpful. Specifically, if you're going through some hard times with your save recently and you want to move them to another world, or you just want to move them in general and don't want to get your save corrupted through the moving process, yeah, it would be really useful for that. Comment for any other video suggestions and subscribe, and I will see you in my next YouTube video. Goodbye.